Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't normally, you know, kind of express myself when it comes to my feelings, especially on an audience like this. But I guess with everything that's going on around the world, especially in America, my heart has been feeling very heavy as of lately. It's just we're just in such a tricky time at the moment, not just with the pandemic, but knowing that we're at home and people are just getting killed, especially black people are just getting killed on a normal basis. Like, it's normal. It's not normal. Like, it doesn't make sense. I just wanted to kind of like come up on here and just like talk about just how I've been feeling personally, because I think that's the one thing that I want us as black people to be able to talk about our emotions on a deeper level. Not just that we're hurting, but we're hurting, we're angry, we're frustrated, we're tired of just seeing this stuff every single fucking day. And I do apologize about my language, but it's like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Yes, I'm living in the UK, but injustice everywhere, is, it just breaks my heart. It really, really breaks my heart, and as the famous Will Smith says, racism isn't getting worse, it's just getting filmed, like literally, like on an everyday basis. But then again, we have to be thankful for these bystanders who are there to show that this is the police brutality that's happening, and these are people in power that abuse the power, so it's just like a really, really frustrating time. And I applaud everybody that got involved in Blackout Tuesday. I think it was a beautiful way for us to protest, but to protest in a way where just allowing ourselves to really like pause and reflect and everything that's going on, because that's another thing that we don't allow ourselves enough as black people. Just pause, just rest. I know it's being black is already a protest, and you're constantly just fighting with society, but also we're fighting with ourselves, and this is a time where we need to educate, elevate and empower each other, but ourselves as well, and kind of like go back to our roots and really, really even have conversations, with our ancestors and ask them, how did we get here? How did we come from so-called land of free to now being, mentally enslaved? That's another thing, that topics that we don't really talk about, as black people. Mental health is so important. Our mental health is, because once our brains are enslaved, that's it. Like, it's like the end game. It's like, that's all they have. That's the power. That's the tool that they have. But as long as we make sure that we are fighting, when we talk about Black Lives Matter, we're not just talking about the lives, as much as the lives whose lives are taken hurts. We also need to remember that our identity is not just defined on our skin color. It's everything that makes us black. Our culture, our people, the food, our names. That's the first thing. What's worse is when somebody gets killed, a black person gets killed, and we say their names, we have to say their names correctly. We have to be proud of where we come from. We have to be proud of our names, you know what I mean? So I think there's so many different layers when we do talk about Black Lives Matter. For me personally, yes, by all means, it's police brutality is at the heart of why we protest and why we're so angry and why we're so frustrated. But there's so many other underlying just a lot of like indirect racism that happens on an everyday basis, that you can just say, fuck it, my life fucking matters, my name matters, every part of me matters. So I think you just have to really just like take time and just really ask yourself, like, you know, just kind of like ask yourself about your existence as well. And when we go to these protests, and like, what do we want to bring home? You know, what do I want to teach my little nieces or my little nephews or my family members, you know? Because again, for me, protest starts from home, you know, teaching starts from home. So we have to be the change that we want to see, not just vocally out there socially, but also internally. You know, so please, I just hope we all just take the time to breathe. You know, I want to say that please remember, every time you take a breath, think of George Floyd, think of Breonna Taylor, think of Ahmed Arbery, think of Sean Reed, think of Sandra Bland, think of Trayvon Martin, think of all the lives taken so soon. You know, I can't stress it enough. You know, society, you only live once. You know, I say, you know, you die once. You know, you live every day, and live your life like it's your last. You know, and just be thankful. You know, be thankful of his life. You know, but right now, I would like to dedicate just a moment of silence, just to breathe and just think of the deceased. And I light a candle for all the deceased. And just know that my prayers are with all of your families and loved ones that are still grieving. And we all grieve, and we all grieve for you. We all grieve with you. May you all rest in peace. And I think of all the other lives taken before their time, and it hurts. It hurts that we're in a time where we're in this pandemic and lives are just being taken, you know, way before their time, you know. So really as well, I think as Black people, I want us to also check in on each other, you know, not just on these hard times, but check in on our mental health as well, you know, have conversations with our family and friends. Children involved in these protests or in these demonstrations, you know, we also need to remember that they're kids, and, you know, let them be kids as well. Let them be innocent. You know, our innocence can easily be taken away from us as soon as we see something that can be traumatic. But also in that trauma, we find strength. In that strength, we find courage. You know, in that courage, we just become liberated and free. So again, this is just me speaking from the heart. But also the one thing I do want you all to know is, hey, I live in the UK, mate. UK is not innocent. Police brutality happens here, just without the freaking guns. It happens a lot. Indirect racism happens a lot. Just also focus on our countries and our roots and what's actually really happening as well in our own countries, and finding ways to kind of tackle a bigger issue. And again, part of our self-care as well is if you need to cry it out, cry it out. If you need to shout it out, shout it out. If you just feel everything, and don't let anybody, we're all grieving differently, with everything that's happening at the moment, and no one can tell you how to grieve that. You know, you have every right to grieve the way that you want to grieve, and just know that we're in this together, and the fight will continue. Sadly, we'll continue to fight. As I'm speaking to you right now, we don't know. Somebody might have been already killed. Just because it's not getting filmed doesn't mean it's not happening. So the one thing as well I wanted to say, please be proud of where you come from. You know, what makes you you. You're more than just a skin color. You know, as I said, from just either the culture, from your food, from your ancestors, from your grandparents, from everybody that makes you you. Be proud of that. I mean, hey, my name is Saidavedasto, but hey, I got a long ass name, but hey, I am proud of them. I'm proud of every letter, every name that makes me me, and I'm a proud, you know, immigrant, you know, and know your story, know where you come from, and teaching our nephews and our nieces and everybody around us that, you know, be proud of where you're from. You know, you're more than just your skin color. You're more than a fucking hashtag. You're more than just a number. You're more than a statistic. So always be proud of where you come from, you know, and make that known. You know, hey, if I could wear hey, I've got a Tanzanian you know, flag out here, just out here representing, but yeah, just make sure that, you know, when somebody tells you, oh, where you from, like, tell them. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to just express that part of you, you know. And again, you know, me working with kids has allowed me to just really be in touch with my inner child. So kudos to all the children that keep inspiring me and keep bringing me back to myself, you know. And I will continue to be an advocate for children to have their voices heard, you know, children to be seen. You know, it's important, because the more they get seen, the more we get seen, you know. So I had the privilege or the honor of making some beautiful like craft and really challenge a different way of thinking to my little nephews, and you know, and I can't wait to show them to you all. And it just really made me happy that on, you know, on his 12th birthday, we get to represent, we get to actively get involved, but also have fun with it, you know. Well, please, if you like what you've watched or listened, please don't forget to like, subscribe, you know, comment, share, you know, and please, I would love to hear some of your conversations. Please, on the comment below, just like talk to me, you know, because these are the times as well, you know, we need to just express ourselves and just be able to talk to each other. Peace. Thanks.